Hi everyone, New England Gardening here with an empty sounding greenhouse. I just took a lot of the citrus trees outside. I want to give them a nice good even soaking. And this is the Miwa kumquat. And they're all starting to turn here. Orange color. But it looks kind of leggy. I've been trying to support it with a bunch of stakes. But here's a problem with growing citrus in colder climates and inside. So you can see here, look how dry it is on top here. Now this, wow, that's bone dry. But it could be soaked underneath here. It is in a black pot, so that's going to make a difference also. The color of the pot, the angle of the sun hitting the pot, whether it's going to hit the whole pot or part of it. I want to get this elevated. It's colder on the floor. But when I soak this, you know, it gets to a point where, I think there's a name for it, I don't remember, but the soil almost like resists soaking. So the water will just like run along the crack, along the soil and the pot, and just not even get into the soil. And you have a lot of problems with uneven moisture, so you could have dry, really dry on the top here, where that kills some of the roots, the fine roots, and then it could be really soaked and wet on the bottom. So you get all these different conditions going on, and that's why when you bring something like this inside, if you bring it in like now, it might be too late. You need to transition it, like warm up the pot over several days, because if you bring this inside, the roots are shut down, but the top of the plant, it's just so dry inside, and if you have this like in direct sun, it's just going to drop its leaves and start having severe dieback, which I've experienced a couple of times, and all the way down, you know, to the graft, when it just completely dies. So those are some of the obstacles, or some of the problems about growing citrus in colder weather. Is you know, if it's evenly cold. So, you know, it's getting warm today. We have a brief warm up. It might reach 60 degrees today. I've got the door open, but you know, if you keep it like real dry, that might actually be more beneficial. I think it's if you're going to be at an extreme, I think the citrus tree can take the drier short term better than long term just wet. So, you know, I put them in these little basins here, these little catches for the water, and I try to elevate it because I don't want it sitting in the water, and you just don't get, like here, I moved one, you don't get the evaporation that you'd normally get in the summertime. So it's just a strange combination of dryness and then lack of evaporation that, you know, really takes its toll on the root system. But I want to bring these outside and just give them a really good soaking, a nice even soaking, because you just don't get that when you're pouring water on the top. So I'm really, and I'm going to use warm water. I'm going to use some warm tap water, not any of the cold water that I have in the water barrel. That's just freezing. I had like 3 inches of ice on the top of it. Just started defrosting today because it's so warm. But yeah, I think this is also a problem with fertilizing here, that this is growing kind of leggy. I have that with the satsumas too. The branches are kind of leggy. So I want to bring this outside. I brought the rest outside already. Let's go take a look at them. So here's a couple of the satsumas soaking in the nice bright fall or winter sun. And I haven't fertilized these actually in a while, which is, I think, causing the fruits to be very small. But here again, you can see how dry it is on the very top. Yeah, actually, it's kind of moist, even just below the surface on this one. This isn't a bark mixture. The label disintegrating. But yeah, I want to give these a good soaking, hydrate them with some warm water, and then follow up with a nice shot of Romeo fertilizer. So here's the one that's sort of leggy looking, this satsuma here. And you can see the relative size of the fruit. I'm always moving these and knocking fruit off. Really have to prune this to be a little bit more compact so it can get through doorway, or just have an environment that gives it some nice consistent warmth during the winter, so I don't have to move it as often. And this is the tree that I did the air layer on. There's the air layer, still there. Oh, sorry, I just keep on calling this the Arari Satsuma. This is the Trovita orange tree, and I've solved that problem. I just went and I got the label on there like I always intended to do for a while now, so finally took care of that. And it looks like I got some nice new growth on here. And so this is the Trovita orange tree. Keep on forgetting. This is the Tango. This is the Tango I almost lost. Like I said when I brought it inside, this is one of the examples that I almost killed it because the root system was dormant. And so made some really good progress this summer. So hopefully I won't go backwards from here on. So this is the air layer. You can see a root right there. Now I really compacted this soil. I really squished it because I saw someone doing that in a video. And I don't know if that was a good idea or not. It's almost like, it feels like concrete. But yeah, I think this is gonna be slow going from here on. I think normally they take a lot longer than I'm used to with fig trees. So I wonder what, let's see what's on. I thought the other side maybe had a little bit more roots on it. Oh yeah, there's more roots there. I don't know if you can see that. Turn it around to the sun side here. There, can you see? There's some nice roots right here. But really, you know, I don't know. Looks like maybe some are poking through here. I don't know how many. I don't feel comfortable unless I see this packed like I do with the fig trees. I don't know if there's enough roots there to support this. I guess, you know, what I'm supposed to do anyways is just, there's actually an orange on this one, so I'd be sacrificing that. But, yeah, I'd have to knock down a bunch of the leaves off of that if I remove that. So, and there's another thing here I was wondering about taking off or not. This has got the spikes on it, and this is, ouch, this is below the graft, so I think this branch here is such a vigorous growth that this is from the rootstock. And I said to myself, oh, let me cut that off, it's taking a lot of energy. And then I said, oh, maybe I'd like to air layer the rootstock, and then I could use that rootstock to try grafting. I mean, that's just really looking down the road a bit. But you can see how vigorous, it's just really sucking a lot of the energy out of the rest of the tree. Look at the size of this. I wonder what this is, if it's a fruit-bearing leaf. Those leaves are huge. I'm looking at that. Look how shiny they are. I don't know, maybe I should just remove that. But, yeah, some progress here on the air layer. There are roots. Let's see, like I said, this is the Tango Mandarin. And here's the tree form of the improved Meyer lemon tree. It actually has some nice sized lemons, larger than the smaller bush varieties. And again, this is in that bark mixture, 511. And there's the bush improved Meyer lemon tree. So yeah, I want to give these a really good soaking and then follow up with some nice fertilizer. So I've got my warm water. Here's the fertilizer that I use. And this is from Four Winds Growers. A couple of my trees are from them. So yeah, I don't want to use the water out of the rain barrel. It's probably like 34 degrees. There's the rain barrel. There's the ice I took off of it this morning. So I want to give these a good soaking. So the package said 1 teaspoon per gallon for indoor plants every 2 weeks. So I mixed up some fertilizer now and probably going to give the foliage a nice watering down to knock off any dust and get some fertilizer in through the leaves also. This one here is still a manageable size, this Tango Mandarin, and kind of wanting to bring it in, tempted to, but I don't know, I've had bad experiences with that. I don't want to lose the progress I've made so far. Probably seems like there's a south wind coming. Also, a nice warm wind. So this bush-shaped improved myelometry looks like it's starting to show the signs of lack of fertilizer, a little yellowing of the tips of the leaves there. And this guy here is still hanging in. Actually, there's some buds starting to already form and might be opening up. Oh, there's a cluster right there. Almost forgot the Miwok kumquat, the driest of all of them. This is the Shinoto orange I cut back and sprayed. This isn't Turfispex, seems to like it. Okay, so I think the citrus will appreciate that watering and fertilizing. And a couple more days, maybe start being able to pop some of these Miwok kumquats in my mouth. These are really good, and just eat the whole thing, rind and all. So this is New England Gardening, and a little update on the citrus. Thanks for watching.